the mic. Break it. Yeah. Break it. Slacker 82 Alpha.
Check the dirt is dead, smell the rot in the wind. You keep your eyes on the pavement, counting every sin. Waiting for a miracle, man, it ain't gonna come. Waiting for a miracle, man, it ain't gonna come. I see that fake ass grin, looking vacant and numb. That polite little mask, yeah, it's starting to chip. I'm shoving truth down on mask, yeah, it's starting to chip. I'm shoving truth down your throat, take a bite of the whip. Hard pills to swallow, I'm the one with the dose. Hard pills to swallow, I'm the one with the dose. Bringing heavy reality, getting way too close. Bringing heavy reality, getting way too close. This is the Slacker 82 Alpha Show. Maverick's the voice, yeah, the one in the red. Nobody is safe. Nobody is safe. Nobody is safe. Nobody is safe. Tear the fabric from the frame, let the whole thing break. The revolution has no face, make no mistake. Nobody is safe. Nobody is safe. I'm done with the soft talk, no sugar on the tongue. I'm spitting the grit from the songs that I've sung. Chewing on the glass that you fed to the street while you hide in the penthouse, avoiding the heat. Your system is a cage built by cowards of dark, but the mob's at the gate and I'm holding the spark. Politically incorrect, I don't care if you're hurt. I'm digging up the bodies you left in the dirt. But the mob's at the gate and I'm holding the spark. Politically correct, I don't care if you're hurt. I'm digging up the bodies you left in the dirt. This is the Slacker 82 Alpha Show. Maverick's the voice, yeah, the one in the red. Nobody is safe. Nobody is safe. Nobody is safe. Nobody is safe. Tear the fabric from the frame, let the whole thing break. The revolution has no face, make no mistake. Nobody is safe. Nobody is safe. Spit it out. Spit it out.
Yeah.
Spit it out. Tear it down.
Tear it down.
Tear it down. Spear it down. Spear it down. Tear it down. Nobody is safe. This is the Slacker 82 Alpha Show. Maverick's the voice, yeah, the one in the red. Nobody is safe. Tear the fabric from the frame, let the whole thing break. The revolution has no face, make no mistake. Nobody is safe. Nobody is safe.
The truth is out. The cage is gone. Maverick.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Hang on a second. Volume here a little bit so I can hear myself. All right. Welcome, everybody. I know it's been a little bit. I know I say this every week, but, I'm getting there. So, a lot going on. A lot going on. So, let's just get right into it. The world on edge. That's where we're at. We're at right now. I mean, here we go, and we're on 6 months in now. Just over 6 months. A war that was supposed to last a week, according to Trump. We were told that it's going to be simple. We're going to go in. We're going to do it. We're going to regime change. We're going to bomb them. They're going to give up, and the Iranian people are going to take over and put a new government. Well, that didn't happen. And then we hear the same things from Trump over and over every day. The same thing. Oh, Iran calling us and begging for us to stop bombing them, and they want to make a deal. They want to make a deal. If he's not trying to manipulate the market, I don't know what he's doing, because he knows it's bullshit. But every time he says it, the market fluctuates. If it's going bad, he comes out and says, "Oh, we're close to a deal. We're close to a deal." I think he just said it today again. I'm so sick of seeing him on the TV and seeing these things where he's saying the same shit over and over again when he knows it's not true. Because obviously, Iran just sent drones to Kuwait to hit our bases in Kuwait. So we know that's not the case. So Iran, of course, and Iran comes out and says the same thing, that he's full of shit. We're not negotiating. We're not going to negotiate with them, with the Americans, because they're not negotiating good faith, or, and then Trump's saying, in one breath, Trump's calling Iran losers and and untrustworthy, and then the other one, oh, we're having great talks, so I don't, it's pretty bad when you have to believe more of what's coming out of the Iranian media than you do from Trump. Uh, because Trump, he's got a lot to lose. He's got a lot riding on this thing, and he is screwing up big time. He knows he got us into something that he cannot get out. He's got no way. He has no way to get out. Your choice is to either give in and give them what they want, or you're going to have to nuke them. and nobody wants that. Um, Not even Trump, his crazy ass self, wants that. Um, I know some of those you hardcore Trumpers are going, oh yeah, let's nuke them, make them a parking lot. Yeah. It's just that easy. Um, you know, you seem to forget, and Trump seems to forget, and you people who are screaming for nuke seem to forget. We're not at war with the Iranian people. They're, the Iranian people are no different than the American people. You have the governments that are bad. They see our government as bad, and we see their government as bad. But it's not and then I know some of you are saying right now, oh, they chant death to America, but it's not the whole country. You know what I mean? I mean, you're hearing people in this country, death to Iran, make them a parking lot. It's not the whole country. Not all Americans feel are against the Iranian people, and not all Iranian people are against the American people. They don't like our policies, they don't like our foreign policies, and we don't like theirs. Period. But Trump's got us in something that is just not not going to be able to get out of. And he's realizing it. The more it goes on, the more he's realizing it. And that's why he keeps saying the same things over and over again. Because what else can he say? Every time I heard him yesterday. I think I was either yesterday or today saying, oh, well, we defeated their Navy, we defeated their Air Force. He's repeating the same crap over and over again because he doesn't have anything else to say. He doesn't know what else to say. We know damn well we may have decimated their Air Force and their Navy, okay, but yet they still have the capability to fire missiles and fire drones. We were told they didn't have that capability either. Hegseth came out the other day and said, "Oh no, they don't have anything. It's buried deep under rubble." Well, apparently not. So I don't know. They're all reading from the same script. Hegseth the other day praising Trump. Oh, you were the only one. You ever think about this? We've been dealing with Iran for what, 47 years or whatever. Not directly, but indirectly doing different things, over the years. But and then Trump's always, oh, I'm the only president who had the balls to do anything. Well, maybe, just maybe, let me play devil's advocate here for a minute. Maybe other presidents were advised and told, if you do this, if you go after Iran and you try to bomb them and try to regime change, this is going to happen. You do this is going to happen. You do this is going to happen. And they listen to their advisors and they listen to their military advisors. Trump doesn't do that. He was told it's not a good idea to bomb them because they'll close the strait. Sure enough, he bombed them. They closed the strait. And then he claims, oh, well, and every other day it's, we're going to get the strait back open. It was already open before you bombed them. Before you allowed Israel to talk you into some stupid war with Iran, because Israel knew what you were going to do. Israel knew if they pushed you hard enough, you would do it. Israel fed you a stupid lie saying that they were 2 weeks away from a nuke and they were going to use it. And you took the bait and ran with it. You don't see Israel's not doing anything right now. They're sitting back, allowing us to do everything. They're not doing anything right now. They're sitting back, watching us do nothing. They're doing nothing. Excuse me. And it's just and I don't how come people don't see this? I mean, not everybody. I mean, but you got your hardcore who are stuck to Trump, and no matter what he does, good or bad, they're stuck with him, and I get it because I know people like that. I know people who are so invested in Trump that they can't do anything else but keep going along with him. They have to keep going along and going along with the shit that he does and not disagreeing with him. And it's just it's just freaking amazing. It really is. It's just amazing to watch. So Iran is threatening I mean, let's see. So now Iran's threatening strikes on US and Israel energy assets. So it says here kind of madness. Iran vows to target U.S. Israel energy assets if attacked, as Trump weighs fresh strikes. So Iran has warned of retaliatory strikes on Israel and U.S. energy assets. This warning follows a report of potential military operations coordinated by Washington and Tel Aviv. President Trump has ordered preparation for renewed strikes on Iran targets. The United States indicated substantially military measures would be taken unless Iran re-enters negotiations. This escalation rhetoric raises concern, about the wider regional conflict impacted impacting vital energy supplies. Um, so not only are we, now Iran's threatening to strike more, and I think that Iran was ready. I mean, look, everybody can say, "Oh, Iran doesn't have the capability. We can beat them. We can beat them with one arm time behind our back." Yeah, well, it's proven to be not the case. Iran is begging Trump to let ground troops come in because they're ready. They're hardened. They're ready. They're dug in because they prepared for this. They're not afraid, and that's what Trump doesn't understand. Trump thinks that you know I mean, oh, we bomb them. Well, then we took a break on bombing them. You know why we took a break on bombing? Trump will want you to believe that it was because for diplomacy reasons. Oh well, we're gonna try the diplomacy way again because I'm the president of peace. He's full of shit. We stopped bombing them because our missile stockpiles are almost none. We almost have nothing left because of this idiot firing repeatedly. You think he just, out of the goodness of his heart, said, "Well, let me stop." After 7 days of bombing, really? Come on. No, we stopped because and it's out there and it's being reported and it's well known that our stockpiles are low, and we and his military advisors, his generals are saying, look, we can't sustain this continued bombing because we don't have the resources to do it. And now they're even coming out and saying today, generals are saying, look, we don't even have the capability to protect Israel if we have to, because they know our stockpiles of missiles are very, very low. And we can't build them fast enough. Iran is rebuilding theirs in a day. We can't do that. We don't have, for some reason, the United States of America doesn't have the capability to build missiles fast enough. Iran's doing it. They're building constantly, replenishing their stockpile and bringing out more things that we didn't even know they had. I mean, it's getting ridiculous. It really is, and and Trump is just digging the hole deeper and deeper because he doesn't know what else to do about it. So, I mean, his generals are saying, look, at this point, like I said earlier, at this point, it's either you know, we back out and give them, try to save face. And I just, You know, yeah. So anyway, all right. So Trump says U.S. will hit Iran very hard. Speaking at a cabinet meeting in Camp David on Friday, U.S. President signaled that the military action could be imminent. We will be hitting them very hard, Trump said, adding that he believed Iran would eventually reach a point where it just can't take anymore. Yeah, good luck with that. Iran is taking everything that we've given them, everything. We bombed them repeatedly for a week, and they turned what they do. They turn around and fired missiles and drones. So it doesn't sound like they're just going to say, "Oh, we give up now. We can't handle it anymore." They know they're getting bombed. They know that they're getting bombed hard, but they're prepared for that. They knew what was going to happen. Tensions rise, fear of wider regional conflict. The sharp exchange of warnings has further heightened tensions between Washington and Tehran, fueling the concern that any fresh military action could escalate into a broader regional conflict. Well, no shit. Um, you know, and then there's, and then it comes out today, apparently in Michigan and Minnesota, I'll tell you here, see, um, I think, hang on a second, let me go back. Water supplies in at least 7 states targeted in cyber attack. So, of course, Trump blames the attack on Minnesota, blames it on the Minnesota people. He's not saying, he doesn't want to admit that it's possibly Iran doing it. Michigan and Minnesota are among at least 7 states coping with cyber attacks aimed at disrupting water system nationwide. The scope of the cyber attack on the U.S. water system has grown to include at least 7 states and maybe far wider. As authorities race to safeguard national water supplies against any assault, increasingly appeared to be the work of Iran. But of course, Trump, it's not Iran. It's the Minnesota people doing it. They did it to themselves. I mean, give me a fucking break. You fucking moron. You did this. You did this. You raised the gas prices because the fucking gas prices, the food prices, the energy prices, it's all your fault. It all falls on you. It doesn't fall on Obama. You can't blame Obama. You can't blame Biden. You got to blame yourself. You allowed Israel to put you in a spot where you had no choice but to do their bidding. I don't know what Israel has over Trump, but they must have something, because he will not. He's defending Israel like crazy, the whole administration. But yet the hard Trumpers don't see that. It just makes no sense to me. Excuse me. All right. While there's no indication that any water supply has been altered or made unsafe to drink, state officials throughout the country were on high alert for potential problems in vulnerable computers that are commonly used to monitor and adjust water quality levels, including chemical treatment levels and water pressure. Minnesota first publicly reported the attacks, and now Michigan says its system seems to be targeted. I mean, it's not a secret that our water systems and our electrical, grids and stuff like that are vulnerable. It's not a secret. All the countries know it. Those are 2 vulnerable things for us in this country. And let's see. Okay. The attack has little precedent, experts said, but long been the stuff of nightmares and sensationalized Hollywood thrillers. An apparent cyber attack by a foreign power during a time of war that could, at least in theory, jeopardize the health and safety of Americans. Exactly. They've done movies about it. Foreign countries know where we're vulnerable. And everybody went, "Oh, that's not true. They can't do anything." Yeah, well, guess what? You're an idiot if you believe that. You're an idiot if you believe that other countries and that Iran isn't behind this. I mean, it's already been proven. Russia's helping Iran, and China is helping Iran. Even after China said they wouldn't, which I didn't believe that. I mean, I believe the fact that they are helping. You know, Russia was helping with targeting different, helping Iran with the targeting capabilities. I mean, it's a bad thing, and it's going to get worse. Here it is. I think Minnesota is behind it. Mr. Trump said on Friday in response to reporters' question about Iran's possible involvement, which New York Times earlier reported. I don't think there was an Iranian cyber attack. Of course, he's going to say that because he knows if he says anywhere remotely close, anything remotely close to that, he's going to cause a panic. You know, and then it's going to, of course, it's going to, the market is going to fluctuate. He's not stupid. Look, he's not a stupid guy. And that's why he's doing it, you know. He's doing it because you know, everything he says has an effect on the market. That's why he says that. Oh, we're in negotiations. Oh, you know, try to adjust the gas, you know, the petroleum market. You know, so it just it doesn't surprise me that he came out and said that today. I mean, it just doesn't surprise me at all. You know, and I was listening to him yesterday. You know, reporters were asking him different questions. You know, I wish I could remember what you know, but he when he doesn't have an answer, he attacks the reporter, calling him a loser, and you know, and fake media, and the worst media ever, and you know, worst reporter, you know, and shit like that, because he doesn't have an answer, and he's you know, and the problem is that it doesn't matter if it's CNN or ABC or NBC or one of those, because those people, they're finally growing balls and calling him out on the bullshit that he says, and he doesn't like it. So what's he do when he doesn't have an answer? He can't defend himself against what they're saying. You know that they're not telling the truth. That he'll try by calling them fake news and the worst reporters, and you know, disgraceful and terrible. You know, all the stupidness that he says, and it's because he knows they're right, but he doesn't want to. You know, he has to hold up the lie and everything that he's been telling all the time. I mean, he's too far in now. You know, we're over 6 months into this war that was supposed to last a week. And now with still absolutely no way out. Yeah, I mean, you know, he doesn't know what to do. And he's getting frustrated, and then he's taking it out on the reporters when they're calling him out on his bullshit. Which I think is funny as hell myself. I think that is so funny. To watch him struggle, when they question him, you know, when they question is what he says. All right, let's see what else do we got here. Yeah, that's the one I was talking about. U.S. General warns Pentagon that he lacks sufficient forces to protect Israel. A shortage of Navy destroyers used to defend against Iranian ballistic missile attack will force the head of the U.S. European Command to prioritize U.S. homeland instead of said officials. You know, so we're spread so thin. You know, Trump's got us spread so thin. You know that his generals are now saying, "Look, you know, when missiles and drones are being sent from Iran to Israel, you know, because we were helping Israel, you know, their Iron Dome can only handle so much. So what we were doing was, as these missiles, we were tracking the missiles and the drones, and we were taking them out before they even reached Israel. Now the general is saying that we can't do that. We're running short ourselves, and we need the assets to protect the U.S. assets. So, and so of course Trump's not happy about that. Yeah, but look, I mean, um, let's see what else we got here. In Iran, the U.S. appears headed for a strategic defeat, allies fear. With none of President Trump's aims accomplished and the Strait of Hormuz closed, U.S. allies see dysfunctional and vulnerability from the war. To American allies, President Trump's war in Iran. See now, you see, it was Israel's war. This was Israel's war, and Netanyahu convinced Trump that he needed to get involved, that the U.S. needed to get involved. And so now it's called the United States war with, Iran, because like I said earlier, Israel's just sitting back now. They're not bombing Iran. And if they are, they're doing very little. We're the one running the bombing campaigns over and over again. It's not Israel, it's us. So yes, in a sense, now it is our war with Iran. And of course, Trump did notify Congress after 5.5 months in, that yes, we're at war with Iran. So, to American Airlines, President Trump's war with Iran, now in the 6th month, seems to be headed for a strategic defeat. They worry that the inability of the United States to turn military superiority into a sustainable changed Iran has displayed a vulnerability that Russia and China will welcome. Of course, Russia and China are sitting back going, they're watching everything. They're seeing, and they're seeing from this the vulnerabilities in the kinks in our armor. They're looking and going, oh, well, you know what? They're weak here. They only have, they can't sustain a long bombing campaign or this and that. So don't kid yourself into thinking that Russia and China are not, and other countries for that matter, North Korea, Syria, all these countries are sitting back going, they're watching and they're seeing the kinks in our armor. And that's going to come back to bite us in the ass. You'll see. They were that the inability of the United States to turn military superiority into sustainability change Iran has displayed a vulnerability in Russia and China will welcome. In addition, Mr. Trump's goal remains unmet. The U.S. military is running short on key armaments that it needs for a global reach. For the moment, Iran seemingly resolute under more radical government. Its nuclear and ballistic capability programs are degraded but not destroyed. And the Strait of Hormuz is effectively under control. The war has left both the United States and Israel in a weaker positions and blaming each other for the other for the mess. Of course. Iranian missiles and drones not only restrict traffic through the strait and damage the economic infrastructure of allies' energy production, but they also continue to threaten American bases across the Middle East and have injured American service members. Yeah, so when we heard originally that the death count was like 4 or some crap like that, 7, and then next thing you know, they quietly changed the numbers to like 18 dead and like 400 plus injured. I just and they only did that after Iran reported numbers saying that the casualties were higher and that the American government was hiding it from the American people. And of course, because right now Trump needs the American people's support, and if we've lost more than 7 people, now up to 18, the American people are going to sour on this war. And they're not just going to sit back and go, okay, well, he knows what he's doing, because now they're going, well, wait a minute. Our men and women are dying for a war that we should have never been in. We were not under direct threat from Iran. All right. Yes, they did in the past. They've killed American soldiers. Yes, I agree 100%. But we were not under a direct nuclear threat like Trump wants you to believe they were. And he has to hold on to that. He has to stick to that because that's what he said. That was his rationale for doing what he did. So he has to hold on to that theory. And that's why he repeats it over and over again. Well, at least they're not going to have a nuclear weapon. At least they're not going to have a nuclear weapon. At least they're not going to have a nuclear weapon. But that's bullshit because their capabilities are still there. And he knows that. Why do you think he keeps trying to bomb them over and over again? Because he knows their capability is still there. Not that they were ready to use it on us, because they don't have any capability to reach the United States. Can they reach our bases and assets? Yes, they're already proven that they can do that. But it's just, I mean, you know, you hardcore has got to wake up. You have to wake up because you got to see what's going on. It's in front of your face. I mean, you know, it's plain. It's plain as the nose on your face that all these things that are going on. He's lying to you. And Tucker and Alex Jones and Marjorie Taylor Greene and all these other people that finally took the blinders off, threw the blinders on the floor and said, whoa, now I see what's going on here. You know, and of course, you know, with Trump, they're all losers now and everything. All these people that I just mentioned are the ones who got him in the White House. They all helped, regardless of what Trump wants to believe it or admit it. And as much as the hardcore people don't want to admit it. Look, I know somebody who was an Alex Jones fan forever. Hardcore Alex Jones. I mean, listening way before Trump decided to run for president the first time. Way before that. Hardcore. Believed everything. You know, Alex this, Alex that. Alex knows what he's talking about. Alex is in. As soon as he went against Trump, now Alex is fake news and a loser and, you know, this person. And then I said to him, I said, look, this guy, you were the number one fan of Alex Jones. And now because he had the balls to speak out against Trump and the stupid crap that he's doing, you turned on him. Same thing happened with Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie Taylor Greene, well, Trump, you know, she, you know, I mean, it was the Epstein files that did it for her. The lies and everything. And then Trump covering up. So she called him out on it. And what'd he do? He targeted her, making her, you know, I mean, I don't know if that had anything to do with reason why she resigned, you know, decided to, you know, retire or resign or whatever. I don't know if that had to do with it, but I'm sure it had some degree. Because unfortunately, there's so many people out there that believe every word that comes out of Trump's mouth that if he says, oh, these people are losers and you know, and they always hated me and other stuff, always hated. All those people helped you get in there. He forgot that. He forgot MAGA. MAGA doesn't exist anymore because of Trump. Trump ruined it, destroyed MAGA. That's why you don't hear him say make America great anymore, because he knows he fucked it up. I mean, you know, there is no MAGA anymore. And I get heat all the time when I say that, but it's the truth. It doesn't exist anymore. It's not America great anymore. Trump is so worried about his legacy and what people are going to say after he's gone that he's trying to put his name on every friggin' thing he can find. Trying to get his name on everything. Put his Trump name on everything. Putting his Trump gold crap everywhere. You know, this guy has some obsession with gold because I think in his mind that gold means that you're like you're way up there. You know, you're a top guy. You know, you're the rich, you know, top elite, and you know, and the gold means something. Gold doesn't mean shit. I've been to his properties. I've been in Atlantic City when he had his casinos in Atlantic City. I've been to Miami and his Doral one. I've been a lot of different properties of his, and they're all the same, gaudy as shit, with all that gold crap everywhere. And that's what he's doing to the White House. He seems to forget the White House doesn't belong to him. It's not one of his properties. That White House belongs to us, we the people. That is our house. He's just living in it right now because we allowed him to live there because we voted for him and put him there. That's what he seems to forget, because as he's destroying the history in that White House, destroying everything and putting his mark everywhere. I've seen pictures of the things that he's changed in the White House, and it's ridiculous. He's putting the gold stupid touch everywhere. All right. I got to get off of that. But, I mean, it's just, and you people out there that are going, oh, you just don't like Trump. That has nothing to do with whether I like him or not. I voted for him to put his ass in there both times. But now he's fucking up. Sorry. Just because you don't want to admit it because you're so hardcore invested in it that you what would your life be without Trump? Well, you're going to find out very soon. All you idiots who believe that he's going to be in again in 28, yeah, good luck with that. That's all I'm going to say about that stupidness. All right. Oh, this is what I wanted to hear. Justice Department moves to drop the case against Olympian charged with damaging reflecting pool. Remember, we heard this guy went in, well, he ripped it apart and cut it up with a knife and all this kind of crap. And come to find out now, they're dismissing the charges because of shoddy workmanship on the pool. Not because he had anything to do with it. So Justice Department moved Friday to dismiss criminal charges against former Olympian with deliberately damaging the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool. Saying evidence prosecutors had recently received refuted the idea that vandals were to blame. Government lawyers said that the 20-page account of court filings, additional documents provided by Interior Department since the indictment of David Hearn showed the damage was a result of botched installation by the contractor, as well as rush to complete the project prior to the events associated with American 250 celebration and weeks around Independence Day 2026. In addition, a recent visual inspection revealed damage throughout the pool, including the middle, where prosecutors say a vandal would not likely have attempted to peel the lining. What do you know about that, Trump? What do you know about that, Trump? You were so insistent. The funny thing was everybody forgot that what Trump said. When it was being redone, he said, there's no way it's going to be so impenetrable. You can't cut it. You can't do anything to it. It's going to be so strong that, no one's ever going to be able to do anything to it. And then after that went, oh no, the vandal, he cut it 300 yards wide, along, and now come to find out this guy didn't do anything. It was because the shitty work that was done to get this thing finished. Who didn't know that? I could have told you that. Oh, man. I just think that is so funny. Now I think, Trump's all pissed off. Given all the newly discovered information, it's difficult to attribute a widespread damage to the reflecting pool to vandalism, let alone to establish the fact beyond a reasonable doubt, said the filing from U.S. Attorney Janine Perro. Oh, that lady. Which is the judge have formally dismissed the case. If I was that guy, I would sue. For damaging his name, making him look bad. It's a dismissal today. It does not erase the abuse of the government power in arresting and charging a patriotic American who did nothing wrong. The government approach was ready, fire, aim. And the administration owes Mr. Hearn an apology, said his lawyer. Absolutely. More than him. Let him sue. Hearn's lawyer said in a statement that the case against him should never have been brought. Exactly. Trump would he had to do something because all the lie he told about the stupid pool, that it was, that it was all done. It was so beautiful and it was going to be this and that. And it's been a pain in the ass ever since he did it, messed with it. And it had to be Democrats destroying it. Oh, the Democrats did it. And that's what you hear from all these idiots. Oh, Trump said Democrats did it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Democrats ruined the pool. Yeah. Well, now you guys can suck it because that's not the case. And the case is it was shitty work done by people that were hired to do it, that were rushed to get it done. Period. Dumbasses. Oh, man. I'll tell you, you just can't make this stuff up. What's it? Trump lashes out. Trump lashes out at Janine Pereira over the reflecting poll case, disagreed 100%. Of course he did. President Donald Trump lashed out at Janine Pereira after the U.S. attorney in Washington, D.C. dropped the criminal charges against American Olympian who had been accused of vandalizing the Lincoln. Trump blasted Pereira and his, of course, on Truth Social. I disagree 100% with Janine Pereira, the U.S. Attorney District of Columbia, on the reflecting poll. I don't know what she is thinking. To me, it was pure case of vandalism. That included the grass, which had a big 8647 emblazoned in a giant letters on it and other elements surrounding the area. There may have been some contract difficulty, but the major damage was caused by vandals. Then he signs it. President Donald J. Trump. Fucking retard. Yeah, of course he's not gonna. He's not gonna admit it. He can't. He can't now because it make him even look like more of a friggin' idiot. I love it. I love it. You can't make this shit up. It's just amazing. So I got another article here. Let me see if I can find it. Which I thought was interesting. Where is it? That was just so funny. Crap, where is it? Of course, now I can't find it. Here we go. All right. Fears of U.S. draft grow as selective service modernizes. So people are now they're starting to worry now because if Trump decides, which he will be a total idiot to do, but if he decides to put ground troops in, which Iran, by the way, is begging for ground troops to go in. If Trump falls for that, people are worried that that's going to cause the draft to be reinstated because we're going to be in an endless war at that point. As a program that manages the U.S. Okay, sorry, lost my spot. As the program that manages the U.S. draft modernizes, commentators are debating whether a potential draft is around the corner. The U.S. Selective Service is responsible for managing the U.S. draft and is currently pushing to modernize the mechanisms that could make the draft a reality. The Military Times reported. At this event is closely timed to escalation in Russia, Ukrainian, and Iranian wars. Some experts have begun debating on whether or not draft would be looming. The draft could be as soon as a few years from now. Former Green Beret and war correspondent Michael Young told Daily Caller News Foundation, right now they're probing and putting it out there to make people use the idea make people used to the idea we're going to register now. Young told DCNF. That's all it is. So they've been floating it for a while. There's very little prospect for a traditional military draft of the sort of the country has relied upon in previous eras. A traditional military draft would hobble the armed services with a logistic nightmare. A scheme of national service for which service in uniform and one of many options might be more practical. I support such a scheme, but there's little practical momentum, even something like that. Pentagon has not immediately responded to requests for comment. Of course not. This isn't something we're going to hear about unless it does happen. They're not going to say, "Oh, we're considering it." They're not going to say anything because what you're going to do, you're going to listen. The generation that's out there now that would be affected by a draft is going to say, "Screw you, I'm not going," uh, and that's going to be a big problem. Uh, U.S. officials have flirted with the concept of a draft, which could provide manpower necessary to commit to a U.S.-led invasion of Iran and of support in the Russian-Ukrainian war. President Trump wisely does not remove options off the table. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said when asked about possibility of a draft interview with Fox News, it's not part of a current plan right now. Yeah. Again, they're not going to say a thing. Not going to say a thing. I don't think anybody is serious about considering a draft. It's not definitely a politically palatable, and that the distance between where we are now and actually executing a draft is almost in the realm of impossibility. I mean, look, I don't see it happening. I mean, if it did, like I said, this generation now is going to say, "Screw you, I'm not going. I'm not going anywhere. Uh, I'm not fighting this nonsense war that you got us into." And I don't know. It's it's going to be something. Um, yeah. Good luck with that, Trump. Good luck. Let us know how it works out for you. So it looks like the Russian and Ukraine war is starting to pick up a little bit. Yeah, looks like Russia hits Ukraine with second ballistic missile assault in a week. Zelensky warns air defenses being overwhelmed. So that's Zelensky crying, saying, "Hey, United States, help me out. We need more. We don't even have it." I'd be like, "Look, we don't have it. Good luck. Take care of yourself. We should have left them a long time ago. Let them take care of this shit by themselves." Because it's just not something that we should. I mean, look, I mean, we all know the reasons why we supported um, Ukraine, because we had things to hide. And Putin brought that out to light. Our secret labs that we had, what do we have, like 7 or 10 or I forget how many. Um, all these secret labs that we had in Ukraine. So, and everybody, oh, well, Putin did this, Putin did that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of on the fence with Putin about, is he the bad guy or not? Would he screw the United States if he had to? Absolutely. I believe he would. Um, does he want World War III? I don't believe he does. Because listen, he's not a dumb guy either. He knows nobody wins. Excuse me, but oh, nuclear war. But nobody wins in nuclear war. Everybody loses. Everybody. Period. Everybody's done. So, and Putin knows that. So he's not dumb, And that goes for, Iran, and it goes for, yeah, all the other countries out there, North Korea. Nobody wants that because nobody wins. There's no winner. There's no winner. It's only losers. Everybody loses. No, I certainly don't want that. Um, I don't know. I mean, it's just crazy. It is. the whole thing. I mean, this friggin' war in Iran is just something that he should have never got us into. The problem is there's no way to get out. He's got no clear exit plan. I still hear, and it drives me nuts to hear, like Nino Rodriguez and some of these other guys. Oh, you gotta trust the plan. Trust the plan. Trump's got a plan. Trust it. And I'll say the same thing I say every single time I hear it. There's no plan. There's no plan. There's never been a plan. If there was a plan in the beginning, it's gone now. You know, I believe all this crap. I mean, the Epstein files aren't going away. It's sitting there. It's waiting to be brought back up. Um, and people are going to call me crazy when I say this, but I believe it was to cover up more of the Epstein files and to take the target off Washington, take the target off of Trump, take it off of Trump's friends, and hope. Unfortunately, I mean, it was this. We started a stupid war, that we were told was not going to take long, and that we were sold that as soon as we start bombing them, they're going to give up, which they didn't. They didn't, and they're not. We're bombing the crap out of them, and they're still doing things. They're still defending themselves, and they're still targeting assets of ours in other countries. Um, I just, but we're told, and we're supposed to believe that we're winning. That we're winning. We're winning. If you listen to Trump, we're winning. We've defeated them. We're just we're just not done yet. You know, I, you know, I it just amazes me. I just every time I see him now because he says the same stuff, I don't even listen to him anymore. I can't. I can't sit there and listen, be fed the same crap over and over again, because I don't remember who said it, but who actually quoted that. But if you repeat a lie enough, it becomes the truth. And that's what he's hoping for. He feels that if he keeps saying it, and now don't get me wrong, his hardcore MAGA are eating it up, are falling for every word that comes out of his mouth. Trump says we're winning. Oh yeah, we're winning. Trump says the economy's good. Yep, the economy's good. Trump says gas prices are going to drop. Yeah, well, good luck with that, because that haven't happened. Um, everything that he says, they say, oh yeah, Trump said it, then I'm sticking with it. And again, the same person I was talking about earlier, that's the way he is. Trump said it, got to be true. So I'm sticking with that. Well, what about this? No, Trump said this, so we're sticking with that. And then, oh, well, this guy said that. You got all these so-called insiders that had come out and say, oh, this and that. You know, um, it just amazes me. I mean, people can't be that stupid unless Trump counts on that. Trump counts on the fact that people are dumb and won't question. And and that's where Trump lost me, because I'm not one of those people that can just sit back and go, oh well, Trump said this, so it must be true. So why should I question it? Sorry, I'm not. I'm not one of those people who just sit back and don't question things when they're wrong, or even when they appear wrong. I question it. I'm not saying that I'm always 100% right, because I'm not, but I'm not gullible enough to sit back and go, oh well, Trump said so. It's got to be true. And all these, like I said, all these so-called insiders say, oh, Trump's going to be, Steve Bannon. Oh, Trump's going to be president 28. The only legal way, let's put it that way, would be if he decided to, we're already in a war. So he's already got that half done. If he decides, well, look, we're in a ongoing war. If he throws ground troops in, we're in the middle of a war. We need to, I can't, we declare. He declares a national emergency and stops the election for some reason. Then that would be the only way. And I don't even know if that's 100% legal. I just said that. Because the Constitution, says no, you can't. 8 years, that's it. But all these hardcore Trumpers, because he come out the other day at the correspondent dinner, which he bombed on, by the way. He sounded like a moron. And puts on the Make America Great Again 2028 hat. He knows damn well that's never going to happen. And who the hell wants an 83-year-old president? I don't give a shit whether it's Trump or anybody else for that matter. We do not need another old fuck in the White House at 83 years old. Period. And nobody should want that. Trump or no Trump. Nobody should want that. We need young blood in the White House. We need fresh in the White House. Just aggravates the piss out of me when I hear it. Oh boy, you got what was it? TDS. Yeah, you can TDS my ass. All right, that's it for me. I'm out of here. You'll hear from me again soon. Just All right. That's it for today. Appreciate everybody coming out. Everybody listening on Paisley Radio, UG Media, Cast Radio, and all the other places that this show goes. Please like and share the show. And I'll see you again. Maverick's out of here.
Check the mic. Break it. Yeah. Break it. Slacker 82 Alpha.
Check the dirt is dead, smell the rot in the wind. You keep your eyes on the pavement, counting every sin. Waiting for a miracle, man, it ain't gonna come. Waiting for a miracle, man, it ain't gonna come. I see that fake ass grin, looking vacant and numb. That polite little mask, yeah, starting to chip. I'm shoving truth down on mask, yeah, starting to chip. I'm shoving truth down your throat, take a bite of the whip. Hard pills to swallow, I'm the one with the dose. Hard pills to swallow, I'm the one with the dose. Bringing heavy reality, getting way too close. Bringing heavy reality, getting way too close. This is the Slacker 82 Alpha Show. Maverick's the voice, yeah, the one in the